be childlike, but don't be childish.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm very like I'm in touch with my inner child. That's what my superpowers are. Cause think a kid, they think everything's possible.
Yeah.
Like 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old you thinks everything.
Mm-hmm.
Why you stop thinking that in high school? Whoa, you are going the wrong way, and I'm here to help you get back on the right path. I only popped up on your screen because you're not happy with your financial situation, and it's okay to feel like that. I've definitely been there, but it's not okay to not make a change. I'm here to share with you the strategies that help change my life and the thousands of others that I've helped. I'm teaching you how you can get started flipping houses without using any of your own cash or credit, and 99 ways how to do it. Click the link and take advantage of this opportunity while you still can. I can't front though, attention. Sometimes, I don't really like attention, but sometimes, like when you sit in first class, I like they be like,
"Who is this?"
And, you get the priority, and then they put your bag comes out first from check-in TSA. You just be sitting. Oh yeah, that orange sticker's coming first. And they be like, "Who's this with the cartoon hoodies?"
You got the pre-check too.
Yeah.
Take advantage of the pre-check. That's when I be feeling like I'll be walking by, walking past some people, and it's like, yeah,
For those that don't know, exit row got the same leg room as first class, but I like first class. I got this thing now where I'm saying, like, if better's an option, why not choose better? Excuse me. Like, I will always get the exit row because I would be like, got the same leg room. It's kind of like first class, but it's not.
Yeah, it's not.
Like, why can't I? But first class is an option that I could get, but I'd be like, now I just started thinking about life, and I was like, I do, like, people, include like, I was like, why do I do that to myself? Like, option will be better, will be the option. Like, better's right there, and I'll be like, nah.
Yeah.
So once I started, that's the only reason I started buying first class seats, because I was like, in anything, if better's an option, I'm getting better. They don't always come to like a monetary value, but just everything.
Yeah.
But welcome back to episode 2 of It's Crowded at the Top podcast. I'm your host, Blake Sanford.
Hey.
May know me as AstenCeo on social media. If you don't, go ahead and follow me. I'm new to YouTube too. I guess I got to do stuff like the YouTube people. Woo! Welcome to my channel. Bam, 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 bam. Subscribe. Hit the button. Where the buttons is over here, or they're over there, or they're right there, or they're right there. Click the button. Subscribe to my channel for more great content.
Bro, that's a pet peeve of mine. When you 3 seconds in and they like, hey man, before I tell you if my shit's worth it or not, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, notification bell, thumbs up.
Hey, and you know what I thought about too? After we recorded episode 1, you know how I was talking about, like, I don't know about the cursing and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to talk freely, but let's not do it out the gate.
Okay.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe let's try to get a few minutes in.
Okay.
Let some F-bombs drop.
Okay.
Just a thought.
So do we need to rewind here and do one of those edits and start from the top?
Nah, we rocking. Fuck it. We done did it now. But today I'm going to talk about how I found my first success in entrepreneurship through real estate. Most people, they know me with my background in real estate. If you don't, I've been full-time in real estate since 2016. I quit my job April 1st, 2016. closed my first real estate deal 6 months later for made $16,500, and I didn't use any of my own cash, didn't use any of my own credit, didn't use any of my own. I didn't have to do any repairs to the house. I didn't do nothing, just got cashed out. And I've always, since a little kid, like my mama would tell you if you ask her, like I always said he was gonna like work for himself. Like I didn't know what it was gonna be, but I used to tell her, like, you could tell visibly she didn't want to go to work. And I'm like, why you gotta go?
Yeah.
Oh, because they told me to. And she tells me stories about me telling her, like, nobody gonna be able to tell me to go to work if I don't want to. Like, in my mind, my kid mind was like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, you're my mama.
Yeah.
Like, you think your mama knows everything, can do it. Hey, daddy, where you? Oh, I gotta go to work. Don't go today. I'll have to. What?
Yeah.
Daddy?
Yeah.
What the? You gotta go to work.
Superman has to, because they said.
And then my mama, she works in the it's crazy to this day. I don't know what her title is. I just know whenever I would call, they would say immunomolecular pathology. So I guess she's an immunomolecular pathologist.
Say it 3 times fast.
Immunomolecular pathologist, immunomolecular pathologist, immunomolecular pathologist.
You said Elohim twice.
But basically, in short, she works in the lab.
Yeah.
So I know she's like, she just recently got a new job field in the hospital, but what, 20 something, 30 plus years. She would be doing something in the lab, like testing and stuff for. I remember, like, sometimes she would be on call, so it's like she would get off of work, and then they would give her like a pager or beep, like something.
Yeah.
So whereas if it beeps, you got to call in, and she got to go into work. Like they might just got an organ in, and some test needs to be ran on it real quick to see if it's, like, I guess, compatible to somebody. I don't know. But through that, like, especially on those days, it would be like, okay, say she gets off of work at 4:00 and then picks me up or does whatever with me, cooks and stuff, play with me, say it's 6:30, 7:00. And then she finally sits down at 8 or something, 8:30. And then it's like, if she would happen to be on call, it wasn't, I think they would take turns with it. So maybe once every couple months or once a month. I don't remember what the schedule was. She would have to go. I'm like, nah, you just got home. Why do you? I have to. And then still have to work the next day. So it wasn't often, but still, I'll be like,
you ain't about that, like,
nah, that ain't it. So even as a kid, I always had my own little money. I would, I was one of them, like, high school, you sell the candy type kid. Or, once I got old enough, I started riding the city bus around school. We always shooting dice. So I would make my little dice money, go flip it, however, legally. I ain't never, like, was streets or nothing like that. But, and then say, like, I've done little hustles, sold some t-shirts, sold some hats. And people don't know that I have somewhat experience in, like, selling merchandise, because I was selling hats. I sold you some hats. It was when Orange Homeboy was running for office, before he got in, his logo, I had F Homeboy's name, and I was selling them. I wasn't advertising it on my Instagram page either. I had, like, a whole nother.
I remember, because
I didn't want to, and people was buying them. Like, I remember, I was shipping some to, like, Asia, and I wasn't selling a lot of them, but a few of, like, it was cool to me. Like, oh, somebody in London bought a hat from me.
Yeah.
Like, dang, somebody in Mississippi, New York, Seattle, Washington. But I would use the little money I made for that for marketing for real estate to find my leads. So a lot of people, they think that you have to have like a lot of money, a lot of capital, good credit, a real estate license to get started in real estate. I did too. Originally, my plan was to do what they call it house hacking. So it's like you find a multi-unit house, anywhere from a 2 to 4 unit. You live in one side and you rent out the rest of the units. So my plan was to find a duplex, get a FHA loan. With a FHA loan, you only have to put down 3.5% for the down payment. Live in one side, rent out the other side. Have my tenant pay the tenant's rent would pay the mortgage, and I would either at least live for free or be turning a profit.
Yeah.
And then I was like, once my money would get up, buy another one, still stay there. And now I got these two will be fully occupied. Will be paying, everything paying itself. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna save up $10,000. I'm gonna save up $10,000. I'm gonna buy this duplex, or whatever. Get out in the real world. I'm like, dang, $10,000 a lot of money.
Yeah.
I'm like, God, working this job, like it's gonna take me
a minute.
It's gonna take me forever to save up $10,000. So I was like, man, what can I do? And then something, probably somebody's ad or something. I probably saw a YouTube ad or something, and it was like, hey, you can basically flip houses without using none of your own money. And you ain't got to worry about your credit being pulled and all that type of stuff.
You was somebody, Dominique, like probably up, trying to figure it out. Saw an ad.
Yeah. And for reference, since I'm new at this podcast and stuff, I do know that a lot of people watching this don't know what you're talking about with Dominique. So when he says Dominique, in episode 1, I was saying, like, I was explaining how you can find your target market in business. And you have to like build an avatar, like actually build a character, like a creative player in a video game. And that's who you want to market to, that one individual. You want to niche down to that one individual and just speak to that one person in all of your marketing. And you'll find so many like-minded people. And my avatar that I built in episode 1 of the podcast, I named him Dominique.
Dominique.
So, but anyways, I was like, yeah, I was like, dang, it sounds sexy. Like I can make 5 figures in a month without any of my own. I'm like, I ain't got to use none of my money. I ain't got to use none of my credit. I ain't got to have no license. I don't need to know how to repair no houses. It's just, I'm in. So I dove deep in like the research of it. Like, how can I figure this out? But I wasn't really moving like I needed to move. I wasn't stuck in like the learning stage. Like I was just being lazy. So say if I need to be making these phone calls today, I'll be like, I'll do it next week. If I need to drive around and if I say this weekend, I want to find 50 distressed looking properties.
Yeah.
I'll do it next week. And I'm not a lazy person, but I'm very self-analytical. So I was like, okay, if I'm saying that I don't want to work, my actions aren't saying that I don't want to go to my job, because I hated my job. Like hated it. Physically get sick to my stomach because I hated it. So I asked myself, I'm like, why? All right, sit down. Let's think. You say you don't want to do this, but none of your actions are saying you want to do this. Why? You know that you don't want to go to work. What is it?
Right.
it all comes down to me making excuses because I got a saying like everything's my fault. I take accountability for everything, even if it's not my fault. I act like it is. Like, because complaining ain't gonna do nothing. Blank finger pointing ain't gonna do nothing. Especially in entrepreneurship, ain't no finger pointing.
Right.
Good or bad, it's you take that. Like you can't blame you can't blame Bob for marketing. Hope some of y'all know who Bob from marketing is, but you can't blame Bob for marketing. You can't blame Sharon.
Yeah.
You can't say Billy gets on your nerves. He makes an uncomfortable work. Like it's on you.
Yeah.
So my answer that I came up with was I have a crutch of the thing that I hate that I'm leaning on to why I'm not doing this. Everything that I do, if I'm not 100% in, I'm not gonna do it.
Right.
100%.
Right.
So when I unpacked, is that what therapists say? Let's unpack.
Yeah, let's unpack. Yeah.
When I unpacked the situation and got deep, it was like, okay, I'm not making these phone calls because I get paid on Friday. I do. I get paid on Friday. I do it next week. Those 50 properties I said I want to drive around and look for 50 beat up, distressed looking properties. I'm not doing it because it's like, oh, I get paid. I do got a little check coming in next Friday.
Yeah.
So I eliminated the check. Plus, that's what I wanted to do. I quit.
Right.
2 weeks, April 1st, it's going to be my last day. You thought I was joking because April 1st, April Fool's Day. Yeah. Nah, fam, it just happens to be 2 weeks from now. I'm out of here. Quit my job. Hustle got different. Because it's like, okay, I got to make something shake. Yeah. Or I ain't going to eat. Yeah. I ain't going to be able to pay my rent, water. No, it costs money to sleep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
take that comfort out and then get real.
Like I ain't make like it costs money to drink water. I'm like, if I don't go make some money, I can't
drink water, can't take a shower, can't look around.
I probably could have finessed the shower. Go get a free trial membership at a gym or something.
Yeah. But you're gonna be bouncing around.
Bounce around.
Like 3 days.
Yeah, bounce around. And then when you make your rounds back, cut the beard, you come back. Then come back and got a mustache.
And you can Gmail it up. You can Gmail it to death.
Come back. Just got this. What's this? The flavor saver.
Soul patch.
I like the flavor saver.
I ain't never heard of flavor.
Yeah, it's a flavor saver. But yeah, I was like, the hustle got different. Like, because I'm like, okay, another saying I live by, eat what you kill. Like, you eat what you kill on this side. I hunt. Yeah. Like, I don't get fed. It's like the difference between like a house dog and one of them wild dogs out in Africa, a hyena. It's like I'm a hyena. So I got to go hunt I got to hunt every day. I got to go get mine every day. So the hustle got different. And then it's like, it didn't happen like 6 months in because I didn't close my first deal until October. But 6 months into it, I got my first deal. I got it under contract, made $16,500. I was like, I knew it was real because I believed it already. But then it's like they asked me, do you want a check or wire? I was like, I need that check.
I need that check. Bro, I got a thing. I save all my checks right now. Like, it's like my thing.
Guess you do a mobile deposit or something?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I thought about keeping that one and like
framing it.
Yeah, but I got a picture of it in my phone. I guess it ain't the same, but
Yeah, but still, frame that.
Bro, I went to the bank soon as cause still, even though, like mentally, I wasn't where I'm at now mentally.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and from how I came up and people I've seen up close, you get some money, let me hurry up before they try to take it back.
Yeah.
They might make a
take it back, lose it, something happens, anything.
Not even knowing ain't like they give you like regular checks at these things. It's like a
cashier.
It's not a with title companies, they don't give like cashier's checks, but they're like basically like a cashier's check. I think they're like certified checks or something.
Yeah.
So it ain't like they can let's stop the check, but still in my head, and I didn't know that at the time. I just never got nothing.
Boy, in the street.
I went straight from the title company. I was like, man, let me get this before they take it. I'm like, I felt it. I was like, yeah, I like this.
Bro, I thought about something I had to ask you before I forget. Cause I didn't, I worked for myself too. And you said it took 6 months for that first check. How many times, if any, did you like either doubt or almost quit?
No.
Never?
I make decisions like, and I've always like, I can give you different examples. So like, I've always been like, it's this. That's why I quit my job, because I was like, I'm not in a position to where this has to work. Yeah. Like it ain't no other option. Yeah. Everything that I've done where in real time, I'm not seeing it as like a success, but other people like, dang, he's doing it. Or I'm always in that position of like, and everybody advises against it. Don't do that. What you gonna do if it don't work?
Right.
I ain't even thought of if it's. That's why I jumped off the cliff with no parachute. I ain't.
Yeah.
What you gonna do if you? What you gonna do if you splat?
Cause now you already like.
I'm like, that's not even a. Cause one thing I do, and I tell people all the time, and I tell my mentees, I'm like, look, be childlike, but don't be childish. Mm-hmm. Like I'm very like I'm in touch with my inner child. That's what my superpowers are. Cause think a kid, they think everything's possible.
Yeah.
Like 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old you thinks everything. Mm-hmm. Why you stop thinking that in high school?
Right.
Why you stop thinking that when you're 22? When you're 25?
30, 35.
When you're 33?
You know what I'm saying? When
you're 50? Because you lost the imagination.
Mm-hmm.
All this stuff is imagination. Like, who said? Einstein said imagination is, what did he say? Imagination is more important than intelligence or something. I don't know the exact quote, but it was something like that. Said imagination is more valuable than intelligence. And it's the dude that, what he had, E=mc², whatever that's supposed to mean. But the stuff he was doing is because he had imagination enough to think outside of the box and stuff like that. So, I ain't never quit. I was just like, I just got to turn up the hustle more, because if I quit, what I'm gonna do?
Right.
Cause I already said I'm never working for anybody again. Like when I walked out, I'm never working for somebody again in my life.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I said that.
Yeah.
Ain't no going back over here.
Going back.
We gonna figure it out. Let's go buy some waters and sell them on the corner or something. Like it would have been something to have some. It wouldn't have been like punching in or 40 hours a week, no 9 to 5 or nothing like that.
Yeah.
And in the time, also, it's like, even though I'm not making no money, I'm at least seeing progress. Mm-hmm. Like I'm talking to leads, like anything in sales. It's very rare. It's very rare. It's very rare that you'll like get somebody the first time.
Yeah.
And I'm pulling up telling people I want to buy their house. And I don't know nothing about real estate.
Yeah.
So the person that knows nothing, me knowing nothing about real estate, pulling up to somebody's house and say, hey, I'll buy your house cash. I close next week if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
The chance of that starting out was very rare, and I didn't have good negotiation skills. I'm just out here talking to people, figuring it out. So it's like it takes the follow-up and the follow-up and the follow-up. But I looked at everything like, I got a sports background. I look at it like I'm getting up my reps.
Mm-hmm.
This practice. All these no's, I'm closer to a yes.
Yeah.
Okay, they all told me no. Okay, I'm calling these people. They cursing me out. Quit calling my phone.
Yeah.
He ain't say no. He just said quit calling his phone. I'm gonna mail him a letter.
That's real.
He didn't say no. He just said quit calling my phone. They did hang up in my face. He didn't say no though.
Right.
Maybe he had a bad day. I'm gonna call him tomorrow. Didn't I hang up on you yesterday? Yes, but click. He still ain't said no. I'm calling tomorrow. Man, look, quit calling. All right, I'm gonna start mailing you. That's what I was on. I had to get it, and in this game too, it's a numbers game.
Mm-hmm.
So if I didn't have a big budget like all these big companies like that, I didn't just have money to throw at problems.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to think and I had to get creative. So I'm doing things like I'm on the streets. I'm walking. I'm putting door hangers on. I'm covering blocks.
Yeah.
Door hangers. And then I was like, dang, these door hangers, like that's some money. Okay, I'm gonna just go get some Post-its. I'm writing on hundreds of Post-its. Well,
yeah.
Asking neighbors, hey, you know who? But when that first one came in, though, I was like, yeah, yeah, because at the time, I couldn't think of anything else where I could possibly make that much money,
right,
that fast. Like, you know how long it would took me in my job to make, like, say them 6 months. Say at my job, I'm not even gonna do the right math, but let's say at my job I did make the same amount of money over the time. But I'm like, at least I'm not going somewhere where I don't want to go every day. You know, and that whole spiel, and having to be around people I don't want to be around and laugh at the jokes I don't want to laugh at. Can't eat when I want to go eat. Versus this, in the actual time frame of the transaction, like, yeah, it took me 6 months from when I quit. But from when I got the seller to sign the contract to when I got the check, it was 30 days. Mm-hmm. So that's why I was like, where else can I make I made $16,500. I'm like, where else can I make basically $17,000 in 30 days?
Yeah.
And at that time too, I was even like, shoot, I ain't even gotta. It's the last me for. I make it stretch for a year. Like,
man,
like. Now with what I know now, like, yeah, I know I know plenty more ways to make fast money now. And especially with the mind, what I know now, for one, I would have made a ton more money on that deal with what I know now. That deal would still be paying me today if I knew what I know now. Yeah, it was impossible to lose money on. Like, I didn't know nothing about real estate. Your daughter couldn't have. How old's your daughter?
Shiloh?
She 2, right? She's
three.
almost 3.
Yeah.
She couldn't have messed up the deal.
Yeah.
Like it was like impossible. I got the house. I negotiate my price. I negotiated with the seller was $13,500.
Mm-hmm.
Who gets a house for $13,500? Anybody would have gave, and my credit was straight. Anybody would have gave me and figured it out.
Yeah.
With what I know now, I sold it. So 13,500. I sold it for 30 to my end buyer. So middleman, if y'all know what I'm talking about, this strategy where you can flip houses without using any of your own cash or credit, it's called wholesaling. Now, to sell real estate, you don't need a license. Like if I own a house and I want to sell it to you, or if you own a house and you want to sell it to whoever, you don't need a license to sell your house. You need a license to represent somebody selling their house. So when you wholesale, you basically play the middleman and you're just flipping paperwork. So you get a house under contract with a seller. You say, hey, I'm going to buy your house for X amount of money. They agree, get a contract. You go find your end buyers, which are typically house flippers, landlords and whatnot. And you say, hey, I got this deal for sale for X amount of dollars. Let's say you got this house under contract for $100,000, and then you go tell your end buyer, hey, I got a great deal for sale for $110,000. They say, okay. You basically sell your contract to them for $10. It's called an assignment. You assign your contract to them for a fee. You get paid in the middle. So that's what I was doing. So in this situation, I got the house on the contract for $13,500. I signed my contract to him for $16,500, which I told him a house for $30,000. What I know now about negotiations, if people say yes too quick, you lost.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm happy. Like, yeah, man, I got this deal for sale, man. I'll let you get it for $30,000. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I'm at the house with him. He said he wanted to come see the house. He comes, he looks at the house. I'm not exaggerating, bro. He looked at the house for maybe 15 seconds. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, dang, this is easy.
Yeah.
Other buyers were pulling up as he was leaving. He said, what we gotta do to get them to go home? I said, give me a check. Cause
straight up.
That's exactly what I told him. I said, give me some earnest money.
Yeah.
I said, give me an earnest money check. I wanted a $2,000 deposit. I said, give me the $2,000 non-refundable earnest money check. He said, I don't got my meet me at my office. And I'm like not trusting, like, bro, I don't know. I ain't about to tell them to leave and you telling me. I don't know how none of this stuff goes. I've never done this before. Like, bro, you got to tell me I need this check right now.
Yeah.
I ain't about to go to no office. You talking about you gonna have you calling your assistant to print out the check and stuff. I'm like, this dude pulling up right now probably gonna hand me some cash. Like I'm talking like this. He said, well, you want some cash? He literally pulled out his wallet. He had like a couple $100. He handed me the $100 and his driver's license and said, you know where I live? Come meet me at my office. Like it's literally like he's like, I want this deal. I said, oh, that's good faith. I said, I tell the two people pulling up, I'm like, hey, sorry, I just made a deal with them.
Yeah.
They said, how much did you give it to him for? Me, green, I don't know. I just tell them the number. Mm-hmm. I say, we agreed to 30. I give you 35, like right there.
Yeah.
I'm like, dang. But I'm always been a person of principle. Yeah. Like my word means something. I'm like, nah, I just told him.
Yeah.
How high do we gotta go? They ain't even went in the house yet. They just outside on the street. How high do we got? If it doesn't go right, I'll contact you. I'll go to the office. He give me $2,000 or whatever. I could go in alone. That we can talk about, because that first deal, everything that went in between the closing too, crazy.
Yeah.
But we can talk about that another day. But my first deal was my craziest deal.
Mm-hmm.
Like period, from everything I went through, people I was dealing with, like crazy.
Yeah.
But anyways, like I said, 30 days later, I get that check, and I'm hyped. And at the time, one of my mentors, or I call him a friend tour, I reached out to him. He initially kind of didn't play a mentor role, but he was the main one giving me like information and game and stuff.
Yeah.
Now to this day, he's like one of my best friends. But at the time, I would call him for everything, like to the point I was annoying him. Like he was ignoring my calls. Yeah. Like I would sit there and just picture him. Like, what does he want?
like Kobe and MJ.
He was like, what does he want? I'm like, okay. And I'm thinking like, damn. And then that's when I was leaning too much on the information. And then this time, since I knew nothing from A to Z on how to do this, once I get these 2 pieces of paper signed, yeah. Called him once, he ain't answered. Matter of fact, it was like a quick, like he hit the button.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I'm gonna figure this out. I'm like, I ain't gonna ask him for nothing. Yeah. I'm gonna figure it out from A to Z. I'm gonna get this money, and then I'm gonna show him the check and be like, I bring some value to the table. Like it ain't about to just, this relationship ain't about to just be a one-way street. So that's what's messed up about it. So like I said, I made $16,500. Remember, I had the house. My contract was for $13,500. He got it for $30,000. With what I know now, he put no more than $30,000 of repairs into that house. Mm-hmm. So he's all in $60,000. Guess how much he sold the house for?
Like 175, something like that.
Nah, not that high. He sold it for 140.
Could have been all in.
That's why I said it was impossible. It was an impossible deal to mess up. Yeah. He's all in at $60,000. He bought it from me for $30,000. Mm-hmm. Put no more than $30,000 into it. Knowing him, he's a big flipper. You know, people, once you got certain crews and stuff, you'll get stuff cheaper. Mm-hmm. Their relationships with people, they'll do labor cheaper because they know that they're going to get consistent work. You know where to find cheaper. You can go find, hey, I got a window guy that gets you. Yeah. I can go get windows cheaper over here than at Home Depot. Oh, I got a guy that, you know, you start to get guys. That's why I said at most. Mm-hmm. Realistically, he probably put like 22, 23 into it or something. But let's just keep it at that 30. Let's say he's all in at 60 and he sold it for 140. He made $80,000 on it. I'm a pretty off of I got 16.5. What?
Yeah.
And the thing is, and then my boy, like I said, my friend tour. I'm hype. I tell him about it. First, I went to the bank. But then I told him, I'm like, yeah, bro, I closed my first deal. He's hype. He's like, what? Congrats, bro. Let's get something to eat. Like, let's celebrate. Mm-hmm. I meet up with him maybe like a day or two later. He's like, man, tell me about the deal. Tell me the numbers, man. I'm happy you finally got your first one. Yeah, man, I got it 13.5. First, he's like 13.5. Like his face is like, dang, that's a good deal. Where you get that at? Yeah. He's like, man, what you sold it for? I said 30. He said, dang, you made a deal. He's like, well, let me see what's the address? Mm-hmm. He looked it up in his phone. He's like, he went like his shoulders was like,
yeah, like
you should have called me, bro. That's exactly, I know that's exactly what he said. You should have called me, bro.
Yeah.
In my head, I'm like, I did. But that was once, and then I just left it alone for a whole month.
Yeah.
He ain't hear from me, nothing. It was just,
yeah.
So you should have called me. He's like, whatever. Then he showed me like the real value of the house and like what houses is selling for. And I'm like, yeah. But whatever, my numbers was off. My repairs, like certain stuff that people could tell me back then, it could be just a hole in the drywall. Somebody be like, oh yeah, it's gonna cost me a few $1,000 to fix right there. Mm-hmm. It's just a hole in drywall. That's gonna cost me about $5,000. I'll be like, okay.
Okay, that's a patch. That's a patch.
Yeah, but I don't know nothing about nothing. Could be a missing doorknob, bro. They could be like, that's gonna be about $1,200. I'll be like, okay, it's okay.
Because when the doorknob missing, you know it mess with the frame.
This toilet, man, we need a new toilet. It's gonna be about $3,000. I'm like, you could have told me because I didn't know nothing about anything. And as far as negotiating, I'm just like, yeah, I just want some. I just need some money. I need some money. Like, I learned quickly, especially on both sides of it, but I act like I don't need or whatever.
Right.
On the seller side, I'm like, I would like to buy your house. Like, that would be cool. Like, it'd be great if we could make a deal, but I ain't tripping if you don't take my offer. Like, even if I don't got no appointments and I need that deal, like back then, like I really would need the money. I can sound like, come on, like I need this. Come on, bro. I can't go no lower. I'm like, yeah, I told you. We buying 2 houses this week. I got 3 more appointments after I leave. After I leave here, like I would love to make a deal with you. But these people beating down my phone, like, their houses honestly look better than yours. Yeah. You see what houses selling for? Do you see? Look at the houses in these areas. Pull up comps, like the lowest comps in the area. This one just sold for this. Nope. 1 street over. Yeah. Look at your house and look at this. Yeah, I hope we could. Like, dang. What could you? And then a lot of times it'd be like this. Well, could you make it work if? I'm like, yeah, okay. Yeah. They willing to work because they don't. They my leads. I know they need the money too. Right. I know they need the money. They don't know that I need the money. Yeah. But I'll be. Please. Please.
Boy kept a poker face on.
But yeah, man, but going back to that first deal though, I'm like, man, that's why I said all in $13,500. Let's say 30 like he spent. I would have been all in $43,500 to sell it for around $140. That's basically $100,000 I could have made out the gate.
Yeah. Do you think that would have been good?
I've been great. Ain't no way getting money ain't good for
you. No, I know that, but I'm saying I be thinking about. It's just like what we talked about the other day about how certain misfortunes, because I ain't gonna say L's, I'm just gonna say misfortunes lead you to a different direction that got you where you are today. You know
I'm thankful for it. Sometimes most money I've ever seen in my life. It got me in the game. I've been getting checks for myself ever since, money's money. I'm just saying that even if I didn't flip it like that, for the wholesale that I was doing, still could have made way more money.
Right.
I sold it to him for 30.
He could have wholesaled the wholesale.
Yeah. That's called he could have wholetailed it. That's what I would have did.
Yeah.
A wholesale is a mixture between a wholesale deal and a retail deal. Retail on the market, wholesale off market, cheap. So you basically buy it, own it, and you just list it on the market as is for sale. Like sometimes people might clean it out. Like if it's a hoarder house or a junkie house, they might clean it out. Might pull the carpet, but it's as is. You might do touch up paint, but it's like a hotel. You won't spend no more than a few $1,000s on. Every hotel I've done, it's just buy it as is, list it on the market as is, because I can get way more money on the market than wholesaling it. If I did that, I could have just bought it at $13,500. I would have figured out some kind of way to buy it. And with good deals, like money runs at good deals. It wouldn't have been hard to, just like it wasn't hard to, the money ran at me to buy it. Good dope sells itself. Man. You ain't got to do much work. You got a great product. Like as far, my courses are good. People get great results. Like I don't got to do that much work for somebody to buy information from. Like it's good. If I can just get it in front of your face and you see that it exists, right? You go and buy it. Or if you don't buy it, you go and at least think about buying it. And if you don't, and then if you think about buying it, I'm gonna show you so much in your face. Everybody that's winning, you done thought about buying this 15 times. I done showed you 30 people winning. I'm showing you more. He just made $10,000. She made 16. He quit his job. She made her first 6 figures. Oh man, what does he talk? Man, let me tap in. Like you ain't gotta do that much work. So with that, I could have bought it at $13,500. I could have sold it. I could have sold it for $70. Right. I could have wholetailed it and sold it for $70. Whoever bought it would have bought it for $70, put $30 into it. Still made $40. That's still a great deal. Could have sold it for $80. That's still a good deal. $80, you all in for $110. 30 bands. Off the flip, yeah. I could have just did that and made way more. I could have. That's a wholesale. Even not using my money, I could have wholesaled it for that $70. Yeah. I ain't even good at math. What's that? What's 70 minus 13,500?
57,500. 56,500.
Even on the wholesale, I could have made 56,500 instead of 16,500. Yeah. Like there's a lot of ways I could have played it. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a can't lose. I could have got it at 13,500, put the 30 into it, been all in at 43,500, refinanced the house. It's worth $140. Pull the equity out. I'm telling you, and people be thinking I'm smart. I count like this. Like if you ever see me, like if my phone's not around and you ever see me like at dinner or something, like check come and I pause for a little second. I'm telling you, like 10 times out of 10, I'm doing. Ask me a quick math question, like something that you good with know. Just ask me something quick.
1 + 1 × 3.
I'm just saying addition and subtraction.
That was both. That was
no. You had multiplication.
I did. Oh, 23 + 27. Hey, this reminds me of Key and Peele when he was sweating more.
This is how not smart I am, and people be thinking I'm the smartest to make money. You don't gotta be smart. Like you gotta know what you know.
Smart comes in various forms.
You gotta know what you know. Math ain't my thing. You say 20. I'm just gonna tell you how my mind will break it down without a calculator. if you say 23 plus 27, I'm gonna say, okay, 23 plus 20 is 43.
Mm-hmm.
Plus 7 is 50.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't just gonna say 50. Like I gotta break it up with the even with the zeros, because it's easy to add with the zero. That's why I said 20. So I'll do 23, 20 is 43 plus 7 is 50. Like it's gonna take me, like if I didn't laugh, it would have took me, like you would have seen like something happening. I wouldn't just say 50.
Yeah.
I would be like
and the laugh was probably a placeholder. To cut into that awkwardness, you just staring me in my eyes.
Oh, like, I told you I'm self-analytical, bro. Somebody asks me something and I'll be like, or if I'm talking and I'll be like, and you know, like when stuff be like, and before I get like I'm trying to think of what I'm gonna say, then I say it. But anyways, though, like I said, I ain't let's say I could have I could have refinanced it. Earlier, where I said that house would have still been paying me now, with what I know, that house is valued at 140. I could have refinanced it. They'll give you 80% loan to value. So if I pulled all the equity out, or even if I didn't, even if I just kept it at 70%, like whatever. But let's say at 80%, that's 112,000 mortgage that they would have put on the house. I mean, no, what am I saying? I would have pulled that out. Yeah. Like cash out refinance. They would have gave me that money. So it's like I would have been up. I still would have been up damn near 100 bands and still own the house. And that and owe that money that they gave me at a low interest rate over 30 years. Right. That the renters will be paying. Right? Yeah, it's called the Bird strategy. Yeah. Buy, rehab, rent, refinance, repeat. So you buy the house, you fix it up, you get a renter in there to show the bank that it's making money. You refinance, pull out the equity, repeat. Now you got all this cash, you can go do it again. And with a refinance, it's not income, it's debt. So it's not tax. So that money the bank give you just and you cash flowing off of the whatever your note is with the bank. I'm just making up numbers because I ain't about to do all the percentages and all that. So if you, like I said again, making up numbers, let's say your payment to the bank is $600 and you renting it out for $1,000 or $1,200. Now you making $600 a month and you still got that money in your pocket. And a hustler, or as I would have learned, dang, now I got this capital. I might not have had to keep wholesaling deals. Like, okay, now let's find these cheap deals, and I got all this cash to leverage to buy them and do it again. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. With what I know now, that house would have still been paying me.
So you don't got to pay capital gains on the refi?
Nah.
Dang, I know that.
It's not income.
Right.
That would sound crazy. Hey, pay capital gains on this loan that you owe. Right. Nah. True that. That's why everybody in the real estate game, I do it a little different, but not a little different. I do it a lot different. But traditionally, all these real estate investors and stuff, they take on as much debt as possible. Mm-hmm. Rich people, really like real life, like the upper echelon, and any real estate investor. I know people. We sit and have dinner, or we sit and have drinks. They bragging over how much debt that they in. Like that. I know people. I had dinner with somebody about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. He's like, yeah, man, I'm about 7 million in debt. I'm looking to take on 3 more before the year's out.
Yeah.
Like 10 million of debt is he flexed up off of that. Like, how much debt you? Oh, you only got 1.2 in debt. I got 7. I'm trying to get 3 before the quarter ends, so I can be 10 in debt. Because it's all leverage, but he cash flowing off all this stuff, and he not paying no taxes on none of this stuff. But I can talk about how I take ownership of stuff. That's to be said for a different episode.
Yeah.
But holla at you later. That was episode 2 of It's Crowded at the Top. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Peace.